What's up, YouTube? So recently I've had a ton of new subscribers. I just want to say thank you all for all the support. I've gotten about 2,000 new subscribers in the past few weeks, and I've had a lot of people comment on my videos asking me certain questions about my job, what I do, and just a bunch of other really unique questions that I wanted to address for you guys to understand better of what I do as a career, and also a little bit more about myself too. So I posted a picture on my Instagram tonight. As you can see right here, I posted that photo roughly 3 hours ago, telling you guys to comment below and ask me all of your questions, whether it was about food, my hobbies, my job, my personal life, my career, whatever it was. I'm going to go through, I believe, 132 comments in the last 3 hours that you guys have asked me. I'm going to pick out some of the ones that stand out, that I get asked the most, and then I'm going to pick out some of the ridiculous, funny, creative ones. And I'll still go through it. Hopefully we'll get some more comments towards the end, but this will be somewhat of a longer video because I have a lot to go through, and I'm going to address pretty much everything that I can. I have one of my laptops here. I have a backup here. This one is recording my audio. I have the new Yeti microphone that I haven't used yet, so hopefully the voice quality is very clear. Hopefully it's a very good quality for you guys. I wanted to improve on some of my videos, so I invested in that. I have a professional light behind you right here, and then I have my camera on a tripod. So what I'll do right now is I'll take a picture of what my view looks like from right here. That is what I'm looking at. The light up there and my computer. All right, let's begin with the questions. Okay, so Mr. Panda with 2 A's and an underscore, he was the first comment and he was the first 8 comments. He said, what's your favorite food, your height, your shoe size, your birth certificate, dream vacation, and favorite candy? I can answer some of those. My favorite food, that's kind of tough because it's a mixture of like eating very healthy and eating like donuts and pizza. But for me, my favorite food that I go to is probably any kind of like chicken. I love it with like rice, or I love it with any kind of side. It can go with pretty much anything. I've eaten so much chicken from like when I was lifting to when I was cutting that I didn't end up hating it. I just found ways to make it taste really good. Height, I'm 6'2". Shoe size, I'm roughly 11.5 to 12. If I wear loafers for work, it's like an 11 because they're slip-on shoes, so they fit a little bit tighter. Birth certificate, I can't give that out. Dream vacation, Puerto Vallarta. I went there 2 or 3 years ago, and I had so much fun. Went to an all-inclusive place called Now Amber with my mom and my brother, and it was so much fun. I had a blast out there. We had all-inclusive. Everything was free, drinks, food, and just sat by the pool. And we had a hotel. Our room was right over a pool, so our patio was a pool. Favorite candy, I like Snickers a lot, also Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. What car has scared you the most to drive? I drove a GTR that was 1,000 horsepower. That scared the hell out of me. I've never been more scared in a car, but also I drove a PPI Razor R8. It was a supercharged V10 R8 stick shift, and that thing between gears, like you spin tires like crazy. It scares you big time. Coolest car I've gotten to drive, minus the Gallardo race cars. Those cars are pretty cool to drive. I've driven a few different race cars, but I think my favorite car is I drove an MC12. I didn't document it. I was with my roommate and we didn't film anything. I don't know why. We were just like so shocked that we had a chance to drive it. But I drove a Maserati MC12, and that was probably one of the highlights of my career, is driving that car. I've driven a few Bugattis, which they're cool cars, but they're not very exciting. It varies on the categories of cars. If money wasn't an issue, what car would you buy? P.S. Love your videos. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me go back. Evan C. Zaja asked me what car scared me the most to drive. S. Thompson Photography asked me about the coolest car I've driven. And then Paul Fridorovsky said, if money wasn't an issue, what car would you buy? P.S. I love your videos. First of all, thank you. I love hearing that when people say they love my videos. It makes me feel very happy. I spend a lot of time and take a lot of pride in these videos. I love making them. So it's cool to see that people appreciate what I do. Because this kind of stuff, like all this equipment, all this time, like I love doing it. You know, it's late at night. I have a computer in front of me. I have all these questions to answer from all my fans and my friends. And it's just cool. It's a really fun thing to do. So thank you. Back to what you asked me. If money wasn't an issue, what car would you buy? I mean, it's hard to say because I love cars so much that there's so many different things I would buy. Very strange. I'd buy a first gen Gallardo, like a 2005. 04 did not have the front lift system. 05 is when it came out for the first gen Gallardo. And I love Lamborghinis, but I'd buy a first gen Gallardo 05 or 06 with a manual transmission because those cars are unicorns. Either UGR has every single one of them or all the other ones are in a collection somewhere, or they're not going to sell the car for, unless they get $1 million for it. Or I'd buy an STI and do like a crazy swap or something. What's your favorite thing about your job? From Tra_Nation_. I think it's the people that I meet. I do get to drive cars. I do get to have a lot of fun, a lot of freedom, and I do get to work with very cool cars, but I think it's the people, the smiles that I see on people's faces when I let them sit in a car or when I give them a ride, or just to be able to share the passion with other people. Like, that's what I love the most, is it's making the connections with people who are, passionate about the same thing that I'm passionate about. So sharing it is one of my favorite things to do. Mr. Panda, again, top 5 favorite cars. I don't know, it's tough right now. Blah K. Meyer. What's your biggest fear? Also, what's your end goal in life? Biggest fear is my mom dying. I lost my dad when I was younger. My mom dying, like, that scares the hell out of me. That's my biggest fear. What's your end goal in life? There's really no end. My only goal is to make sure I keep going. If my clothing brand takes off, Devoted Society, or if, my marketing career ends up going even higher, like, as soon as I hit a point where I'm pretty happy, like, I'm going to keep going. I want to keep extending my reach no matter what I'm doing. So as long as I can keep going, like, that's my only goal. NJ Supercars. You're an inspiration to me to become a professional photographer, hopefully at a dealership. How did you get your name out there to get an awesome job like you have? First of all, thank you very much for saying that. I'm glad that I can inspire somebody. The main thing in a nutshell for what I did is when I first started, I used Zanga, which was a platform for blogging. Not vlogging, but blogging with a B. And I would write all the time about my life, how I felt when my dad was passing away, what I was doing. I had a little Kodak camera that I was taking pictures with. And basically what I would do is I'd go to car shows when I was younger and I'd have little business cards made that had my name on it and my email address. I would go on forums and I would post like my pictures. I'd post that I'm a local photographer in San Diego. And I would basically go in I would find any opportunity that I could where I could get my name out there. Any kind of car show, auto show, car dealership, and any online forum. Because forums were huge back in like 04, 05, and 06, like Luxury 4 Play, 6 Speed Online. All those big, Team Speed, all those huge forums were very popular. So I think that using those as a marketing tool is how I got my name out there. And basically just introducing yourself to anyone in the industry that was in the industry that you wanted to be in. So you have a better chance of meeting more people. Go find people who are already in the business, introduce yourself to them, tell them your story. That way you're planting a seed in their head saying, oh, I know a guy that could maybe work here. Whether it's a year from now or 10 years from now, you might get a phone call saying, hey, you still take photos, or hey, do you want a job? Who knows where you can be? That's how it worked out for me. John.859, favorite sports team. I don't watch sports. I played hockey when I was younger. If I had to, Chargers, I guess. I live in San Diego for football. I don't know. I like college. If it's college football, Michigan. I was born in Michigan. Fast lane photography. 3 questions. Favorite car, favorite food, favorite animal. Favorite car, I don't have one. Favorite food, chicken. Favorite animal, I like cats. I love cats. AMG Alex 01. Would you ever want to own a Corvette Stingray, the new one? Yeah, I guess. I mean, if it's a Z06 or Z07, like, yeah, for sure. Fast lane photography again. Favorite city. I've never been to New York, but I've always wanted to go. I would love to go to Manhattan. I love it. But San Diego, it's my home. I love it. Constructive Ruckus. James, will you let me ride with you at a track day? Yeah, anytime you want, dude. Let me know whenever you can. I'll let you know when I'm going to the track next time. DMC Can 12. Pick one car, Spencer. Got it? Then you get 3 upgrades. What would the car be and what would the upgrades be? I would pick a E90. I'd pick a 4-door V8 M3 as my car. I get 3 upgrades. So my upgrades would be, I would do an ESS supercharger, and then I would do a full coilover kit, and then I would get super beefy tires. But I want an exhaust, so it would be a fight between both of those. But I really want good suspension for the track. You want a lot more power in that car. It'd have to be a 6-speed manual, and it'd be a fight between getting either bigger tires or an exhaust on it, because I want to hear that crazy high revving V8. Rocky 458. The GTR is your dream ride, such an amazing car. If you had to choose between a stock Nismo GTR and a twin-turbo Supra, what would you choose and why? I mean, it's tough. I would choose a GTR because it's easier to get around town with. Using a Supra every day, I would throw on like the fattest turbo and like it would take an hour to warm up. And I live in Pacific Beach. I can't really drive a freaking car that doesn't spool up till 5,000 RPMs anywhere. So Nismo GTR, I get more pleasure out of. I could drive it more often. Kyle Southwell, he says, what would your advice be for someone looking to start a YouTube channel? I would say just start recording. My friend Carly just started her channel roughly like 6 months ago. She asked me for advice, and all I said was just start recording yourself. Put a camera in front of you and just start saying stuff to it. And soon enough, you'll start to develop a structure on how you make your videos, and it'll really help you give yourself a direction on what you want to film and how you want to present yourself on the internet. But stay consistent with it. Make a goal. Do two videos a week of 5-minute videos of you talking about something, filming something. That way, as time goes on, you gain confidence of being in front of a camera. Then you can start going in public with a camera, and then you get more and more confident with what you do. Setting a goal in your head, saying I want to do something, I think that's the best thing to do for your YouTube channel, and just make it consistent. Just do 1 or 2 videos a week, and then work your way up to however many you want. SD_S2K. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? I see myself being my own boss. I want to own a company one day, maybe marketing, photography, consultant company, anything that could be just basically me being my own boss. I'd love to be a full-time YouTuber too. I love making these videos. So something to do with digital marketing online, and also monetizing off of something such as a clothing brand, or some kind of consultant company where I teach people how to do social media, how to do photo shoots, how to get their name out there, anything like that. MD Motors, favorite place you've lived, and baseball or football? I'll answer the second one first. I prefer football, I think. And then favorite place I've ever lived. I lived in Newport Beach for a little bit. I lived in Huntington Beach on 19th and PCH on the corner. So I had an ocean view. I was 19 years old when I was working for Lamborghini and McLaren Newport Beach, and I had the sickest view. That was one of my favorite places that I lived on my own. Azaya B5, what are your work days and hours? Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 5:30, and weekends only if I have a client appointment, or if I do the cars and coffee, or if I want to go in just to get some work done. There's nothing like going into work when you don't have to work, because you actually are a little bit more productive on what you want to do. That's just how I am. That same photographer, why did you sell your Subaru? When do you plan on making a car as an investment? My Subaru, I sold it because I had invested in a car wash. I had invested in my clothing line. I invested in my poster company, and I invested in my health. So I was working out every day at 5 a.m. I lost 40 pounds in 1 year. I was paying for all my prepped meals, and then I was also shoveling money into my clothing line, and then also into my poster company. And it was like I had so much money being put away into certain things that I had more return on, that the Subaru did not make any sense to have, because it was a lot of money. It's roughly $800 a month for that car, and I was just like, I'm throwing money away that could be put into something else. Plus, I was like, I wanted turbos and wheels and suspension, and it became a money pit. MD Motors, if you could work at any dealership, where would it be? I love where I'm at right now. I would like to eventually work for Brett David in Miami. I love Florida. It seems like a cool place to live, and Brett's a really cool guy. I've known him for a while. And his dealership Prestige is pretty cool. If I could work at any dealership, it would be my dealership. That's what I want to. Dylan Silcox, what's your favorite car to drive? I like the Huracan. It's a really fun car. Huracan's just all around an awesome car. I like it a lot. That same photographer, what's your dream camera setup? I have it, D750. MD Motors, if there's no such thing as photography or cars, what do you see yourself doing? I don't know if filmmaking falls into photography, but I'd be making movies for sure. Just don't know what. I don't know if you guys know about this, but I would probably be studying something to do with like astronomy. I love space. I love the galaxy. I love that kind of geeky, crazy galaxy stuff. So I think I do something with that. Or it depends. I wanted to be a pilot when I was super young. I want to be in the fitness industry. There were so many things I wanted to do. So I don't know. That's a tough question. Ryan Crow, biggest advice to a 20-year-old, what you wish you would have known, etc. I've been a huge fan of yours now, and we're even messaged a few times on Twitter and such. I'm about to turn 20. I'd love to hear what your advice is. Okay, Ryan, thank you for that. I appreciate the comment. The best advice to you, I'm not sure what you're asking for exactly, but in general, I think that looking back when I was like 20, I was working at Symbolic Motors, which was the same dealership I'm at right now with Lamborghini and all the other brands that I work with. I don't really know. I mean, I learned so much when I was 20 that like I'm very thankful for everything that I went through. One of the things that I could give advice to is really watch your money. When you're like 18 years old and you graduate high school, you either get a job or you go to college or you somehow have some kind of income, whether your parents are giving you an allowance or you have, your income of your own. I would have just been more frugal with my money because I can spend money like no other. I had so many things that I didn't really need that at the end of the day, when I looked at my savings account, I was like, where'd all my money go? So save your money. If you can, like, take the majority of your check and just save it. And who cares, like, if you want this or want that? It gets down to a point where it's like, I need this. Like, when you need something, that's when you spend the money. When you want it, you need to question it and say, okay, does this really make sense? Do I really need a bigger turbo? Or do I need to have groceries for my kitchen? Ask yourself that. Car Spotting USA. Why did you choose Symbolic O'Gara as a job? It was my dream job to work with exotic cars. nba_. When are you getting the GTR? I don't know. I'm investing in so many things still. It doesn't make sense to buy a car right now. I have a good Audi that I love. That guy 01. Picture yourself in 20 years. What cars do you imagine having? Where would you live? And what would your job or business be? Blah, blah, blah. What cars do I want? I mean, I want a GTR. I want a nice M3. I'd love a first-gen Gallardo. Let's see. My mom just texted me. Where would I live? Either New York or LA. Car Spotting USA. Best picture you ever took? That's a tough one. I took a really cool picture of a GTR going over a bridge when it was like super foggy out over Coronado Bridge, going like 100, hanging out of my roommate's car, almost crashing, but I got the picture I needed. It was like Motor Trend cover worthy, which I was like so pumped on. Hamburger or hot dog? From Alan C. Valos 5_LTD. They're both pretty good. I'd have to go with the hot dog because Costco has really good hot dogs and they cost nothing. Most expensive car I've ever driven. I've ever driven like a Mira. No, probably Bugatti Vitesse. I drove the one from the Transformers movie, the blue one. I drove that car a while ago. That car's like $3 million. But there's been a few classic cars that when I was younger I drove when it was Symbolic Motors that I'm assuming were like 20 million. I'm not sure. There are certain Ferraris I can't really remember. Now that I'm older and I've watched RM auctions, I've been to Pebble Beach like 2 or 3 times. I understand that these cars were way more expensive than what I thought. I had no idea how much Lusos were, or Miras, or 250 GTOs, or 275 GTOs. Any of those cars, I had no idea. Now that I look back at it, I'm like, I had no idea those cars were that expensive. What other hobbies do you have besides photography and selling cars? Working out, hanging out with my friends, hanging out with my mom. 4.6 _Daniel. If you could choose a career other than what you do currently, what would it be and why? Clothing line, fashion, I guess. Same thing from Daniel. How did you and that Gibbs meet? In high school, we had a class together, I think, and we knew each other through school, and somehow we ended up hating each other. We met, and then like something happened with his ex-girlfriend, and I tried to get in his business, and we somehow both liked cars, and we'd walk down to the dealership that I work at now when we were like 14, and we'd walk around and just be like, oh my god, this place is so cool. And ever since then we've just loved cars, and then we hung out all the time, and then eventually met our families, and then we went through a ton together. Our friends were killed. Like, we had a ton of moments where like we both moved away. He went to Colorado for school, I went to Newport Beach for work, and then we both came back in San Diego, and then now we've lived together for I think almost 3 years. But we've been best friends for 10 years now. Cal Auto Visions, favorite burrito spot in San Diego. Okay, this is a really good one because I love Mexican food. There was a place called Ortega's on Pearl Street in La Jolla. I went there every day after high school, well, majority of the time with my friends, and Ortega's was the best burrito I've ever had my entire life. But Ryan, I don't know if you'd be watching this right now, but Ryan from Don Carlos on Pearl Street, go to Don Carlos and say that you know Spencer Burke. He'll give you a great deal. I've gone there for like 8 years now. The food there is just amazing, and it's a great spot to be because you're on Pearl Street. So you have my dealership where I work at right here, you have Ferrari and Maserati right here, and you sit right here parallel to Pearl Street. So all you see is like Ferraris and Lambos and Maseratis and all these crazy cars going up and down the street. So it's a cool spot to get food and spot cars. Nolan.Weinberg. What are you doing to save for a GTR? Putting money away. Motor District. Favorite Audi? I like the previous generation RS4. It's one of my favorites. Well, I guess the only RS4. Nick Box Photography. How can I persuade people to remove their used K-cups out of the Keurig after they brew their coffee? My advice to you is just to politely ask them to say, hey, make sure you don't leave it in there anymore, and just kind of, approach it the right way. Dude, I don't know, man. Do whatever you want. MD Motors. Casey Neistat or Christian Guzman? I can't pick that. They're both like, one's a fitness guy and one's a filmmaker. I guess if you put them together, I guess I could kind of be that person, but I don't really work out anymore. J. Packwood. What's your favorite car you've enjoyed the most? The Huracan, for sure. Oh, and a 997 GT3 RS and the 4.0 GT3 RS. That was a very fun car to drive. And the first time I drove an LP670 SV, a black one. That was very cool, and it had an exhaust on it. That was crazy. And a Super Trofeo Stradale Gallardo, the standard street legal one. Monday.u.bastard. What is your annual income? Now let me address this really quick. This is a question that people have asked me before that I think is very, very inappropriate to ask. I don't think that anyone else should know your business on how much money you make and anything to a personal level where it involves your income. My friend Anna Delgado says, so proud of you, Spencer. Anna, if you're watching this, I miss you. Anna was one of the first girls that I sort of saw in high school, and she's been a friend of mine for a very long time. One of my first friends that I ever had when I moved to San Diego. Original_snaps. Why do you like the GT3 RS 997 so much? It's a very pure car. It's fun to drive. It has a proper gearbox. The car can get the rear end loose very easily. Simple mods like headers, exhaust, suspension, racing seats. You can have an ultimate cup car that you can drive on the street to Cars and Coffee, or A to B if you want to be crazy like I would be, or on the track. So it's just a fun, crazy car. What was your best fan public recognition experience? That's a good one. I do get recognized in public a lot. I've gone to places like Chick-fil-A and people have recognized me. I've gone to car shows, which a lot of people do say hi and recognize me, obviously because I am in the car industry. So I've met people at the gym multiple times. I've met people out in La Jolla when I've shot cars. But my favorite moment that I've had was when I went to Cars and Coffee Irvine, when it was one of the last ones, and it was right when I moved back to San Diego from Newport Beach, and I had invited Manny Koshman and his friend to come out to Cars and Coffee and bring 2 Bugattis, and also had another friend from Newport bring his Bugatti, and I was able to bring a Vitesse, which was, like I said, the one from Transformers. I brought that one with my boss Mark Chase, and I guess they had never seen a bigger turnout for Cars and Coffee ever from what I know at Irvine. I have a picture that I wish I could find, but it was like 4,000 people because I had advertised it about 2 weeks in advance on my Instagram and Facebook that I was going to come out there with the Vitesse, and we had 3 other ones coming. And I think Amy from Gold Rush Rally and some other people posted it, and it went viral. And the next thing I knew, like when I got there early in the morning, it was already packed. And by the time that Manny got there, it felt like it was my show because I was directing people where to go. But we had 4 Bugattis all in a line in that main section when you first pull in the parking lot, and it was just so surreal to walk around and so many people recognize who you are and say hi and take a picture with you. It's very cool, and it's nice to know that people out there were so inspired by what I do, and it makes me feel good to be able to give that inspiration back to other people. So that was probably one of the best fan public recognition days I've ever had, was how many people talked to me and said thank you and wanted the picture or just a second to talk. It was very humble moment. So thank you guys to whoever was there for that day. That was really cool. Cody Bapp, what is your plan to hit 100,000 subscribers this year on YouTube? Also, how much do you deadlift, bruh? Produce these videos. I'm trying to do 4 to 5 videos a week and then film cool stuff. I mean, that's the main goal. I don't really care if I don't hit it or not. That's just a cool goal to have. It makes me kind of like want to produce more. How much do I deadlift? I haven't deadlifted in a while. I'm not sure. I can squat like 300 pounds. Andrew G. Ventura. What was the first car you ever damaged on the lot, and what was the damage? I was driving a Super Trofeo Stradale, and I had parked it next to a curb, and I bounced off the curb. I slammed right into it. I damaged the wheel. It wasn't too bad. Thankfully, the guy who I worked for, Pietro, and also Grant, who was our service manager, they were cool with it. I told them, I said, hey, I damaged a wheel, I messed it up, and they were fine with it. It's just as long as I admitted it. I had done it before and I never told anyone, and then they found out the wrong way, and it was just not right. So if I damage a car, I make sure I tell someone. Like, it happens. Like, you scratch wheels. I mean, you in a year's time period, if you work in the car industry, especially with what I do, you're held accountable for all the moments that you drive these cars. So if you can just admit to like messing up a car, it's better to do that than having your boss find out the wrong way and you get fired for it. So if you're in the car industry or any industry and you mess something up, just tell the person that manages you and you'll be all right, hopefully. Nishmu, who was your first girlfriend and how was it when you asked her out? Sorry if it's personal. I just need some tips. All right, man. I don't really remember too well. I was like a freshman in high school, but it was just really casual. Like, I was nervous, of course, but like, the best thing I can say is just be confident with yourself. Like, learn how to, you know what? I'm not going to give you any advice. I just say jump into it because that's the best way to learn. I don't really have much advice from other people, so I just kind of learned the hard way. But be confident, dude. Just own it. If you see a girl that you like and you've never had a girlfriend before, what's the worst that's going to happen? She's going to say no. Okay, move on. You might find someone else who's better or hotter than her. But if you like this certain girl, don't be afraid to ask her out. Give her a note in class or shoot her a message on Facebook or whatever it is. Just like, don't be scared to say hi. I've had moments where I've been scared to say hi to girls and I regret it because they could have been my future girlfriend. If the girl at Lens Crafters from Newport Beach at Fashion Island is watching this, that helped me when I was there 3 years ago, I want to meet you. I forgot your name. I regret that so much. ALSG Motors Photography. What are your opinions on the presidential candidates? Also, if you were to have one last burger forever, where would you get that burger from? Presidential candidates, I have no idea. I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news. I've never voted in my life. I've never registered to vote. Burger? Probably Five Guys. I love Five Guys. BC_collective. Best tips and tricks to give an amateur car photographer. YouTube. Go on YouTube. Search a ton of videos. Look at Adam Bornstein. He's doing a really cool job at posting videos. He's posted a ton of tutorials on how to edit pictures for cars, and also just to YouTube like the camera that you have or camera that you want and learn everything about it. Get very familiar with it. I shot in auto mode for a long time when I was like 14, 15, 16, but as soon as I got my D300, I started shooting in shutter priority mode, which taught me a ton about rolling shots and also about panning shots, because I had shot Grand Prix Long Beach, streets of Long Beach, and I learned so much about the camera. But basic tips: go out and practice, run around the neighborhood, go take a car out, go take your car, your mom's car, whatever, if you have permission, and shoot the car wherever. If you want to be in automotive photography, go do that. If you want to be product photography, start learning lighting, learn natural lighting, learn artificial lighting. Look up stuff on YouTube and deeppreview.com. Those are like, and Ken Rockwell. Those are like some of the best websites to go to learn about photography and about cameras too. Far Bink Aber. When are you getting another E30? I'm going to buy an E30 Evo DTM when I get a chance. I just don't have the money for a $100,000 E30. Car Spotting USA again. Thanks for all the questions, dude. How do you get that smooth motion for your car videos, like the yellow Pirelli Aventador video? Buy a lens with a VR in it, which is vibration reduction, and also practice your breathing skills while you shoot. If you hold your breath, you tend to shake more. If you breathe out as you try to do a panning shot or some kind of cool, unique shot, watch your breathing. WVH_cars. Who is your biggest inspiration in life? I have a ton. My mom is a huge inspiration to me because she's a very strong, independent woman that is so caring and will do anything for anybody to make sure they're happy. She gave up pretty much everything to take care of me, and when my dad died, she was like able to hold it together. I know that she went through a lot, and I don't want to share too much, but she's a very, very strong woman. She's a huge inspiration to me. Whenever things get tough, I always think of her, and she inspires me a lot. But in a few other aspects, like as far as social media and like marketing and online and business ownership and like that kind of thing, I definitely look up to a few different people. I say Casey Neistat for sure for filmmaking, Christian Guzman definitely for the fitness industry, Pete Ciccone, who was my health coach for about a year and a half. He is the most disciplined person I've ever met in my life. He inspires me a lot. And there's a lot of other people. I mean, there's so many good leaders on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube that it's hard to pick just one. And unfortunately, there's a lot of like fluff of people trying to become an inspirational leader. And like, it's hard to find who the real people are. And I'm thankful that I've met a lot of them who are my idols. And I can really say that there's a group of people who I look up to on a daily basis for sure. Ashley with an I. What are you most grateful for besides your amazing job, of course? What am I most grateful for? Like I said in the video earlier, I think the people I have in my life, I'm very thankful for my mom, my roommate, my friends, my coworkers, everyone who I'm surrounded by, including you guys who watch these videos. And I may have never met you before, or I may have never talked to you or know who you are, but I'm grateful for people like you who want to go through these videos and learn about someone who you personally don't know, or you personally may not know anything about me or at all. I'm grateful for people who want to learn about me. I mean, that's really cool that you guys are interested in hearing about my life. And the fact that I have, all these comments on my phone from multiple people, it's just cool. It's really cool. It's nice to see that. And then like the support I get from when I go to Cars and Coffee, or when I, talk to other people, or when I, post stuff on Instagram, I'm grateful for you guys to comment and ask me questions. And that's about it. Fastlane photography. Why do you work for Lamborghini if Ferrari sells more cars and have more models? Lamborghini for life, dude. I like Ferraris, but I love Lambos. They're very raw. AK_Adam. What was your first car? 1988 BMW E30 325i with way too much money put into it. I built that thing for the track, and sadly, I never tracked it. I just had fun with it. Jesse Carmichael. Can you subscribe to my YouTube channel? Sure. AK_Adam. What was your first job? I was 17 years old. Okay, I'll elaborate on this one. I was 15 years old, and I had posted on Luxury Foreplay about being a photographer. This guy named Mark Chaperone reached out to me, said, hey, I have an M3, my cousin has an Escalade, and my friend has an Audi S4 Avant. He wanted me to shoot all three of those together. Now, that's a very unique combination of cars, but he messaged me and I said, yeah, dude, I'd love to. I'd love to meet up with you and do the photo shoot. He said, can you meet me? And my response was, I don't have a license. I was 15 at the time. So sure enough, he said, all right, whatever, let's just do the photo shoot. I'll pick you up. The day after, I hear an M3, an S4, and an Escalade driving down by my street to pick me up to go for a photo shoot. Mark Chaperone owns one of the best body shops in San Diego, and he gave me an opportunity to practice and get my name out there for my portfolio. I had done about 5 photo shoots for him of his cars. I messed up a few, and he gave me the patience and the chance and the opportunity to create who I am today. I don't know if Mark's watching this, but if you are, dude, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for what you have supplied for me. If you guys ever go to Chaperone Auto Body on Balboa, go in their lobby and look at all the photos on the walls. You'll see my E30. You'll see the cars that I've shot for him. He gave me a ton of opportunity to shoot all the cars that he completed, including a really cool Murcielago. He did a bunch of old hot rods and also all his collision stuff that he did. And then also, if you need work, go to Mark Chaperone. But thank you, Mark. I completely forgot where I was going with that. First job. Technically, that was my first paid job, not on a contract. But when I was 17, I was offered a job at a car dealership, Symbolic Motors, and I had dropped out of high school to take the job as a receptionist part-time. At the time, I was not happy with where I was living, so I moved out on my own into a 2-bedroom house with 5 of my friends, and my rent was $300 a month, but I had the chance to work at a Lamborghini dealership, and there was no way that I was going to say no to that. If I wouldn't have taken that leap of faith and dropped out of school and committed to that job, then I would not be sitting here talking about my career of being with Lamborghini for 6 years now. But school is good for a lot of people, so don't drop out just because I did. That was my first job, by the way. Thank you, Mike Pedacci. Ollie KB11. Why did you choose buying your current Audi? I was searching for a car that was a good daily driver, something I could drive around town that was like easy to operate and good on gas and turbo and still fun with it. 0 to 60 exotics. Whenever you buy a GTR, what do you plan on doing to it? Like exhaust upgrade or what? I don't know. I want to find a stock one and just do simple mods like an exhaust and maybe tint and like keep it really simple. Maybe downpipes and a tune. Mama Berke. Who's your favorite mom? My mom. You. And where did I get all of my talent? From Mama Berke. Once again, everything I got was from my mom. She taught me everything I know. I love you, Mom. Kaiser Blake, where did your love for cars start? My father was a drag racer. He was a professional drag racer with a bunch of cars. He had an Oldsmobile 442. He had like 30 cars his whole life. When he was dying when I was younger, I remember when he wasn't sick, I was maybe like 7, and I used to take my Hot Wheels and I'd go out in the snow. I'd run all the Hot Wheels through the snow and make tracks in it, and he would watch me and they would take pictures. And that was kind of where it started for me. My dad bought me Hot Wheels, and I always loved cars. And then seeing him racing and knowing that my mom loved cars, she had a bunch of Mustangs. My brother had a Mustang. He was super into cars. And then once I moved out to San Diego, my mom had taken me for a drive, and I ended up driving by a Lamborghini dealership, and I was like, holy crap, like I play these cars in Need for Speed. This is insane to see them in person. Like I was looking at Bugattis and SLRs and Lamborghinis, and I was like, I want to be in this industry. And that so happened to be the dealership that I work at right now. Jesse Carmichael, also, what's the fastest you've ever been in Mexico? Mexico, I don't know, 200 miles an hour, probably like 100 and something. High 100s maybe. Bailey Bond 98. This is a pretty good question. Do you believe in God? And what part of a claim or religion, if so, what? I have been wondering and would like to know. Thanks. This is kind of tough. I don't believe in God. I've never gone to church my whole life. I don't pray. It's not really me. I mean, I'm kind of spiritual, I guess, to an extent, but that's not for me. Slice of Pook. Should I 2JZ swap my 95 Civic? Parker, yes, I think you should. What is your dream 5-car garage? That's tough, dude. That's like asking to pick your favorite kid. Mark Manzano, when did you get into car sales and how? I was a receptionist at 17, 18. I moved into marketing and social media when I was about 19 or 20. I went into full-time photography, social media marketing, event coordination, graphic design, and online marketing sales to an extent when I was like 22. When I turned 23, my boss, James Peacock at Symbolic, said that I should get my sales license because I have a big database on Instagram. I have a lot of followers on Facebook and Twitter, and just to start posting my cars for fun because I was getting good leads through social media, but I would hand them off to my coworkers. And I thought to myself, well, if there's opportunity for me to not only make money and to expand who I am, but also to help the company grow with social media and pushing cars, that's like, why not? So I kind of transitioned into it. I mean, when I was 18, I had no idea by the time that I was 24 now that I would be in car sales, but I love it. I really enjoy it. Michael Maddie, are you scared of crashing any cars that you shoot? And have you had any close calls? I'm not so much scared of me crashing the car. It's more so of the other people that I'm around because people take photos of you when you drive them. Have I had close calls? Yes, I have, unfortunately. I mean, you're bound to have it when you drive these cars all the time. People don't pay attention. Just be defensive. That's all I can say. It's for me. I'm always cautious of where I am. Michael Maddie again. First exotic that you drove, sat in, and professionally shot. First exotic car that I drove was a matte black Aventador coupe. It was in a parking lot, and then I drove it the next day, I think, on the streets. I don't remember. First exotic I sat in was a orange Murcielago. I think it was VR Alexander's or someone out in Newport Beach. They parked in front of a Coffee Bean on the main stretch on PCH in Corona Del Mar, which I used to live over there. I was like 15. I went out there with my friend Nick, and he let me sit in the Murcielago, which like changed my life. I still have it on my photo bucket from like '05. Professionally shot, I don't remember, honestly. I wish I could. Have you ever thought about getting a motorcycle? Yeah. One of the last questions is from Jacob J. If this is your career for the next several years, do you plan to move on to something else? Yes, I do. I want to be a business owner of any sort someday. Now, I don't really care what it is as long as I love it. I'm very passionate about filmmaking. I love the automotive industry. I love cars. I love my companies that I do have right now. But I have always wanted to fix problems, and I have a ton of issues right now that I see in life that I can potentially fix. I think that one of the things that I'm reaching for is to be my own boss one day. I'd love to have my own car dealership and be able to hire a team of people that I can help grow and help succeed in life and make great money while doing what they love. Being who I am today is because of the people that I have in my life. If I didn't have certain people when I was younger who gave me advice or who directed me in the right direction, I wouldn't be sitting here telling you my story. I wouldn't be living my dream every single day of my life, where I've never considered work actual work. I just do what I love every single day. It's people in this world that are thoughtful enough, that are willing to go out of the way to help other people. And if I'm able to be in that position one day, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to give people opportunity to grow and really just succeed in life. And I would love to have a team of people where I run a dealership and I have all the different parts of it, whether it's finance, whether it's the financial standpoint, the sales team, the porters, the photographers, the social media, the marketing. I want to be that person that everyone goes to that says, what do I do? And I want to be that person that leads everybody and tells them, hey, this is what you can do. Here's a problem. Here's a solution. Go attack it, and then see how they perform. And then help them grow and overcome their fears, overcome challenges, and be able to help other people succeed in life in any kind of way. All right, we're looking at about 50 minutes of recording so far. I'm pretty tired. I'm going to go ahead and end this Q&A. I just want to say thank you guys for whoever stuck through this whole thing. I really appreciate it. I hope that all these questions may have answered a ton of stuff that you guys may have been wondering. I will try to do these, once a month maybe, because some of the questions become very repetitive. But if you want to, feel free to add me on Snapchat, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. And also, please subscribe. And if you can right now, go ahead and exit out of this full screen or wherever you are. Go to the thumbs up button and press thumbs up if you have an account. Or I don't know if you can. Press thumbs up if you can, please. And check out my other videos. I'll be doing a lot more videos for you guys. And man, I'm tired. That was a long Q&A. All right. I'll see you guys in the next video.